Well, here's the thing with that, about communal confession versus one-on-one. The church has always said that you have to confess one-on-one. Communal confession, as it was understood, was never what actually happened. See, what was supposed to happen was this. You could do a penance service where you have everybody in the church who wants to participate. They might have the Blessed Sacrament on the altar for adoration. They might have some nice music or whatever. They would do like a prayer service where they talk about reflecting on our sins, asking God for forgiveness, and you might have everybody saying the act of contrition together. Then they're supposed to go to the confessional and confess. And they didn't have to say the act of contrition or those other things because they've already done it. That was the way it was intended to be. But these dumb priests I was mentioning before decided to do something on their own. There is something called general absolution, but the idea behind general absolution was not what they actually did. The purpose of a general absolution is, we're on the Titanic. It's going down. There's a bunch of us who might possibly die, and there's not enough time for everybody individually to go to the priest. So the priest is there in front of everybody, he says a prayer, he gives an absolution for everybody without hearing their confession, the ship goes down. For the ones who died, the absolution wipes away everything. For the ones who lived, they still have to go to confession. The idea was in an emergency situation where there's no time, or let's say that there was something less dramatic. Let's say that there's a car accident where 2 or 3 people are in the car and they might actually die. Giving them a general absolution with the hope that they don't die means that if they do die, their sins are forgiven, even if they don't have an opportunity to confess. But if they live, they still have to confess. So that was what the general absolution was intended to be, and what it still is. But you had these priests that were like, I give everybody absolution, you can go home now, because they didn't want to hear the individual sins. That's actually not allowed. So I say that without judging the past, without judging things that have happened in the past, but the idea is we're confessing our sins one-on-one because we're supposed to actually confess. It's not, I feel sorry for my sins and I wait for the priest to wave his hand, say the magic words, and all the sins are gone. It doesn't work like that. Part of confession actually requires me being sorry for what I did. Some people forget that. How do I know they forget that? Bless me, Father, for I've sinned. It's been a month since my last confession. I did X, Y, and Z, and I'm going to do A, B, and C. Well, if you're going to do it, you don't feel sorrow for it, do you? You can't confess what you haven't done yet. And if you are confessing what you're planning to do, you're not sorry for it. Think about it. So I hope that answers your question.